hey guys, welcome back. It's Jeff Deets here in Illinois. Don't talk about myself much, but I'm a multi-generational cattle farmer here in Northwest Illinois, and do row crops and stuff too, and it keeps me pretty busy, most of the year, and it's kind of limited my time that I get out to hunt. But I did discuss earlier this year, kind of my two main goals for this season. We're just going to be getting Cayson on a good buck, hopefully a better buck, bigger than what he shot last year, is one main goal. And then also, myself getting on the buck I call Coors. So far, Cayson's been, had kind of a rough youth season, was really, really warm. We actually had an encounter with Coors, which is crazy. It was like 80 degrees that day. But, he never pulled the trigger, which I respect a lot, because, he's at that stage of just, wanting to shoot things. But he's really holding out for a bigger buck this year. Maybe not a huge buck by any means, but, bigger. So anyway, as far as Coors, he's... most of my intel, he's spending a large portion of his time all summer and right around in the long field, and then also between there and the Y field, pretty similar to what he did last year. There's some other deer and stuff kind of around the same area too, and one of those is a buck I call Rise Buck. And it just kind of seems like, as things have happened here, through the fall, he's really opened up his range. He tended to stay more like in the interstate last year, over towards what I call the Danny Woods area, and this year it's just he's spending more time kind of overlapping in there where Coors is at. He's a stud, definitely a buck. They'd be worth taking this year, and I'm excited to see how all that plays out. It is October 25th, and welcome back to Midwest Whitetail. We're sitting in what's called my new, Y field inside corner plot stand. I got a green plot out to the side, some bigger, like beans, corn, food plots, that kind of stuff out to the north behind us. You can see quite a ways now that some of the leaves are starting to fall off, and I'm really excited about this set. The main deer that use this area, Coors, has been in a couple times already this week. This morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, I believe he was in here, hitting the scrape. There's another buck that I call Rise Buck. He's just a big, burly, I think 6-year-old deer this year. If we don't kill something tonight, which I hope we do, but if we don't, I think we're going to come right back in here again in the morning for my first morning hunt of the year. Spotted him and said, hey, that's Rise Buck. He's just a great, big, mature, 12-pointer, I think, this year. Not real tall tines, but definitely a deer that I want to shoot. So the buck that we call Rise Buck, I saw this morning over in the Y field. I was sitting in the skinny pinch, what I call like my Y field, my new buck stand, and he came in behind us, got our wind, didn't work out real good. He's been spending a lot of time over here between the interstate and the Y field. So what we're kind of hoping is we got this east wind, which blows us back this way, straight out in front of us. We made up a decoy tonight, and we actually made the decoy look just like who?
Rise Buck.
We made him look like him, hoping that, if he sees his twin, he'll want to come up here and like punch him in the face. And hopefully if we can get some does in here, we'll see some bucks, and they'll be checking and maybe a little, running activity and stuff. So we'll see what happens, and we'll check back in when we get some action.
58 attempts at Coors. Will today be the day? Will he live till next time on Midwest Wind?
Well, it's just a little bit after 2 o'clock here, and we're set up in the tree. Got in what we call the new Y-field set. The buck we call Coors has been using the west side of this quite a bit here lately, just crazy amount. Also the buck we call Rise Buck, and then another really big 8-pointer that I had an encounter with this morning. I feel like they're probably very good chance they're right over here. We hunt all these fields kind of differently, but when you really look at it on a map, they're not that far apart. And this is sort of maybe the area that I would say a little bit in the middle, on a saddle in between a lot of these separate fields. So afternoon hunt, gonna just see what we can see. Hopefully have an encounter, or at least some action. See what happens after this. Kind of pretty excited for this week regardless. Brandon's off. I'm going to be off and available to hunt pretty much every day this week, I think. So should be some pretty good action. It's heating up. It's that time of year, and weather looks like it's going to be all right. So we'll see what happens. And I guess this would be kind of like my feeling like a kickoff for the rut Cayson. So we'll see what happens from here.
Didn't hear. Louder. He's going away.
If he looks like he's coming this way, I'm not gonna ground, but if he does, if he looks like he's going away, I'll ground.
He's going left.
Brett.
I just see he was standing
Just one quick low
low and back a little. I don't know, man. I'm shaking. When you were like, he's coming, I couldn't stop shaking.
I had a feeling when we still was going through.
Yeah. It looked back further than I thought, but and the way he acted like he was gut shot, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the deer we call rise buck. Actually, kind of wild because I had an encounter with him this morning and screwed it up. Lo and behold, I looked over, where this other stand's at, and I seen a deer, and right away I was like, huge body. I'm like, I think that's rise buck. Gave a couple deep grunts. You can't see really good straight to the south of us, but he came right in on a rope, pretty much coming from that way. Anyway, it was, quartering away a little bit. Looked like I hit a little back. The way he definitely acted kind of like gut hit, but liver gut maybe, and maybe just a little bit lower. That's my biggest concern. If it's up high enough, I think he's a dead deer. We're gonna have to give him some time. All right, we just got down. It's been about 45 minutes or so since I shot. I want to just try and find this arrow just to confirm if it was guts or, it looked like a clean pass through after reviewing the footage. Just found the arrow. Definitely a clean pass through. I don't know. So, the morning after I ended up shooting the buck I call rise buck, I went back into the same spot, and for a couple reasons, mostly, one being that, the guy that I had come in tracking, he had another track first thing in the morning. He just said, he wasn't going to make it there till mid-morning, which was fine. We wanted to give this deer plenty of time to expire. And then also, just the fact that it's really right in Coors' core area, and had a good feeling could possibly have an encounter with him, or see him. My time's limited again with the cattle farming and everything else. That when I do get my days to go, I got to kind of maximize them. was also pretty confident that, you know, the buck that I call Rise Buck, you know, had gone into kind of a different area, a little bit away from where we were going to be hunting, and presumably, you know, expired overnight. Excited to kick off this hunt. Hope you guys enjoy it, and hope you guys enjoy, you know, the rest of your season, and you're having some luck where you're hunting.
Blood. Which he's circling back to where he came from right now. That's where he came from, was the west here. Yep, no, I mean. Slow down. I got it. I got it. Good boy, let's go. Good ball. Good ball. Hey, hammered that. Let's go. Let's go. Good ball. Good ball. Good boy, dude. Good job. Let's go. Come on, Gary. Good ball. Woohoo! Woohoo! That's part of it. We don't have to track very far. Oh my, he hammered.
All right, well, we just got the buck I call Rise Buck pulled up out of the timber. A really cool older buck, man. We, you know, really glad we gave it till, you know, the next morning here, and you know, just waited a little bit. You know, it was one of those deals last night after the shot. We knew, didn't feel like it was the right thing to do to go in there and chase him last night, and definitely was the right decision to wait on him. I don't think he was real stiff. I don't know that he's been dead all that terribly long. So pretty long track. Glad we had the dog along. 541 yards, I think, is what we ended up with. Kind of funny how they do that, but a lot of times you see these deer, they go back to where they came from. So it's a cool old buck. I think he's at least 6 years old this year. Just got a lot of character and kind of a big old bully buck that I don't mind having off of the farm, to tell you the truth. So gonna do a few more pictures and get him gutted here and wrap things up. But what a cool buck to punch my first Illinois archery tag with for the season, and just excited. Just kind of kicks it off. And you know, thanks again for watching Midwest Whitetail, and you know, hope the rest of you all have great luck this season.